As we get closer to the November elections, more and more high-profile Republicans head for the exits amid House GOP dysfunction. What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video, and today it is time to talk about the 2024 House elections, because as most of you probably know, it seems like every other day at this point, we're not talking about some random backbencher no one has ever heard of. We are talking about some pretty significant names. Former Speaker McCarthy, he retired. Congressman Mike Gallagher won't seek re-election. Hell, a schizophrenic like Ken Buck, he's retiring also. There has been so many major retirements this year alone that it really puts a question mark about what's going to happen this cycle. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Now, I understand a lot of people are celebrating, including myself, some of these retirements. People like Mike Gallagher, Kevin McCarthy, they sucked. But at some point, when you have this many retirements, it could potentially impact day-to-day operations in Congress. But let's get right into it. House Republicans were shocked by some of the recent high-profile retirements announced by their colleagues, which have included powerful committee chairs and rising stars inside the GOP. I really wouldn't consider some of these people rising stars. Most of them have been there for like 40 years. So I really would not consider that, a rising star. You've been here forever. How you not a star yet? But given the miserable state of affairs inside the House right now, they also weren't exactly surprised. They've signed up to do serious things, and we're not doing serious things, said Ken Buck. Oh, Ken Buck! Totally a serious Republican where he flip-flops on an issue every other day. There's some serious questions about, is he losing it? For crying out loud, this guy would support one thing one day, then do the exact opposite the next. He has lost his freaking mind, and he's saying, these people aren't serious. Are you sure about that? Don Bacon, Nebraska, a moderate who represents a key swing seat, pointed to his party's struggle to govern as driving the departures. When you're divided in your own conference, the joy of the job is harder, Bacon told CNN. When you have folks on your own team with knives out, it makes it less enjoyable, which I do gotta give Bacon some credit here. This is something we've heard about for a while where you have staffers trying to kill each other, not literally, but they hate each other. They're starting fights behind closed doors. I understand that part. That part we have a lot of problems with. You cannot have staffers fighting each other behind closed doors, threatening each other. No, that is stupid. But he's making it sound like the party's divided for no reason. You know why the conference is divided? Because Kevin McCarthy lied to so many people. That's why the conference is divided. It's just a fact. He lied to Nancy Mace. He lied to Matt Gaetz. He lied to basically everyone. And now everyone hates each other because they have no clue who to trust. Kevin McCarthy made a lot of deals with someone like Nancy Mace. And he broke those deals. I don't feel bad for him. You should be blaming Kevin McCarthy. They're trying to blame someone like Matt Gaetz. And Representative Carlos Jimenez of Florida, an ally of deposed former Speaker Kevin McCarthy, said this is not how he or many of his colleagues imagined life in the majority, saying, I thought that some of our members would be smarter. Oh, like Kevin McCarthy? You guys are in the majority. You have leverage over the White House and the Senate. And you decide to not use the leverage. Instead, you gave up the leverage. That's what started this crap, by the way. Back in May, when they backstabbed their voters and lied to half the conference, they gave up that leverage. You're in the majority. Act like it. Not act like, oh, well, we can't do certain things because the Senate Democrats will just vote it down. Make them. A lot of us are frustrated with what's going on, and that's just being flat out honest, he told CNN. It's foolish, and it's been proven to be foolish. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result. Which, yeah. There are some in the House that I will say, they have no freaking clue what the hell is going on. They're incompetent, they backstab their voters. Someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, I mean, it goes both ways. There's some in MAGA that, or quote-unquote MAGA, that do this. But a lot of the establishment, they did the exact same thing with stuff like the debt limit. They tried the same thing over and over and over again. And it didn't work. It just pissed off the conference even further. As the 118th Congress has been dominated by deep dysfunction and bitter divisions inside the GOP, a number of Republicans, particularly from the so-called governing wing, are headed for the exits. So far, 23 GOP lawmakers have decided to not seek re-election or resigned early, including 5 committee chairs, though some have cited personal reasons or are seeking higher office. So yeah, some of them, they're running for the Senate, they're running for governorship, whatever. But some of them, they just retired because they're salty about what Matt Gaetz did. Talk about bitterness. You say Matt Gaetz is bitter? Half of these people gave some of the most pathetic excuses for jumping ship. And now, since they're not running for office again, or most of them aren't, they could just say, we're not going to vote for what you want. Screw you. We don't have to worry about re-election. We're just going to sit here and vote for what we want. Doesn't matter. And that's going to be the biggest problem for the rest of this term. And that's why I'm saying Mike Johnson, he's doing the best he can. These clowns don't give a rat's ass what the voters think, because they're gone. It's like, what are you going to do about it? I'm not running again. Screw it. I'm not going to do what the voters want. Still, the caliber and timing of some of the retirements has raised alarm bells, and they're talking about someone like Rogers of Washington or Mike Gallagher of Wisconsin. Well, guess what? Both of them sucked. I mean, who freaking cares that they worked their whole careers, okay? That's not why I'm making a big deal about this. I'm making a big deal because now they're going to vote for whatever they want. They're going to do whatever they want, and no one can do a damn thing about it. I mean, Mike Gallagher, he is an awful Republican. I mean, he has the worst voting record of any Republican in Wisconsin. That's how bad he is. What do you think's going to happen now that he doesn't have to run for re-election? I mean, he's in a Trump plus 15 seat. He could just vote old Democrat. And on the Energy and Commerce Committee alone, a highly sought-after assignment, there are 8 Republicans who are retiring. And like I've said, at some point when you have this many people retiring, that's a problem. I mean, you don't have to like the people retiring, but not every single person that has retired sucks. Some of them are just mediocre. A lot of them are bad, but you do want to keep some of these people for experience. You want someone that understands how it really works. Others, however, said the turnover is completely normal, especially since the House GOP has self-imposed term limits for chairs, which I think is stupid. I mean, I understand you don't want someone having the same position for 60 years, but really? Term limits for chairs? So if you get someone that's really good at their job, they're just gone after what, 2 years? Does no one see a problem with that? If you replace someone that's really good with someone that's incompetent, less stuff is going to get done. Democrats have also seen their fair share in retirements this cycle, as they have been relegated to the minority. Plus, the Republicans calling it quits so far are not from competitive districts, meaning their seats are likely safe. But, and this is the second problem, these are going to be dogfight primaries. Up and down the board, these primaries are going to come down the wire. I mean, the establishment cares so much about winning the general that they're spending hundreds of millions of dollars in safe primaries. It's stupid. Texas 26, for example. John O'Shea should be the next congressman, but the GOP establishment is going to spend God knows how much money just on that one primary. That's the problem with this. I think the biggest problem, yes, you have the experience stuff where you may get some more people that have no clue what the hell is going on, which is bad enough, but this might hurt Republicans up and down the ballot. because now you're going to waste how much money on these primaries. Now, theoretically, this should go both ways, as there's a lot of Democrats that have retired also. I mean, even in swing districts. But the problem is, Democrats usually don't have competitive primaries. Usually they're uncontested. Usually before the guy even retires, they have a successor. Republicans, good luck with that. They always have down-the-wire bloodbaths. I mean, it's just absurd how much money is going to be spent in some of these primaries. And that's why I'm saying this is a big problem. Again, some of these guys suck, but at some point, it's like, okay, much rather have the B-tier congressman that's generic, but at least okay, than having to spend $10 million on the primary. You know, that's a bit of a stretch, but you get the point that it's not a good idea to have this many people bail, because now you have to replace every single one of them with people that might be even worse. Or have a brutal primary that wastes resources that could be spent, say, in Michigan 7th. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you guys did enjoy, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.